Hi everyone, Annette here from Aussierebornsupplies and Miraclebabiesnewbornnursery. Welcome back. I have missed you all so much. I have been going out of my mind waiting for the kids to go back to school so I could get back into this. Not that I wanted the kids to go back to school. I really love them at home. But it's just very hard for me to get into videos and everything with them asking me, oh, what can I do? Or I'm bored, and doesn't let my mind sort of be creative as such. So anyway, today we're going to get back into this. We're going straight back into it with a tutorial to start off this year. And I promised so many people that I would do a tutorial on doing a ethnic baby. And I have one here that one of my customers has booked in. So I thought, well, what a better time to do it with you guys. Now this one, as you may or may not be able to see, is a biracial coloured kit. So unlike your usual kits you get, which are either like a light flesh, a pinky or an orange, this one has more of a coffee colour to it. So it is made to particularly make biracial babies. Now I haven't worked on a biracial kit like this in many years, so I'm going to sort of play with it as I go. I want everyone to know that when you get a new kit, one of the most exciting things is you can make it your own. Even if you come across and you make a little mistake, I believe personally it can always be fixed. So let's get to this. One thing about this biracial kit is the customer has asked for a very light look. I don't want to use any terms because I've used terms before and I have been verbally abused for it without any meaning in such. So I'm just going to say that she wants to have a very light ethnic look about it. So I am looking at a coffee colour, probably very similar to what this is. Which means there's not a lot of work in it, but there kind of is. At the moment, as you can see, if you haven't done kits before, you'll see that it's very flat looking and we need to just bring some three-dimensional look, some life into it. So we're going to do that. If I was going to be more after a dark ethnic look, I would just start going with my paints right now with my dark colours. But because I need to make it lighter, I'm going to lighten it first and then get it to the stage I like. So you can work with me on this. You can just watch, or you can, skip to the next step if you like. So I'm just going to put this one away. Now it's the ethnic Aisha kit, I think it is. And my customer would like to make it into a little boy called Levi. So we're going to start with obviously, I'm using heat set paint, so I want to try to work with everyone. Like if you're working with air dry, it can be the same concept. I'm going to start with a Flesh 08 and obviously my Odourless thinners. If you're working with air dry paints, you can get Flesh 08 in the Luminaire range. But if you don't have a Flesh 08, just a light flesh or something. If you're wanting to sort of copy me. Yes, so let's go. So what I'm going to do, here's my little thing. I've got just one teaspoon here, and because I'm only just working on the one kit, I'm just going to make like a single batch. If you're hoping to work on a few kits, or you want to save your paints in a glass jar, then you can just times it by what I'm doing. So 1 tablespoon, go 4 tablespoons and then times the paint I use, something like that. So my Odourless thinners. Now this is the Artist Spectrum type that I sell. I either decant them or I sell them actually in the bottles that the supplier has supplied me with. So if you're in Australia, of course you can buy this from me. I don't send it overseas due to the hazardous products and all that. But yes, so just 1 teaspoon. Just filled to the brim and into my little bowl. I don't really need to show you. It just looks like water in the bottom of a bowl. side. And then with my Flesh 08. Now, like I said before, I don't necessarily have any particular measurements. I sort of measure as I go. So you can work with me. I'll tell you my measurements, but you might see me add more as I go. So I've got my faithful old brush. Everyone might remember. I don't know why I love it so much. As you can see, the end is quite loved, but it works for me. So I don't need to go buying a brush all the time just to make it, because it's perfect. I'm happy with this. So what I'm going to do, I'll just put my brush into the Odourless Solvent. As, of course, if you're using air dry, you'll just put your brush into the water. And with air dry, you don't need much water, pretty much. It's not the same sort of measurements. So I'm just going to get 2 brushes. And when I say 2 brushes, I mean each side. So a swipe on one side, just making sure that I've got paint on there, and then a swipe on the other side. Now my paint, this particular paint, is getting a bit old in the tooth. It still works perfectly, but if I was using a brand new paint, I would find that it would wipe onto my brush much easier. This needs a little bit moisture to get it going, but that still works fine. Okay, so with the brush on either side, I'm going to mix it into my mix. Now if I look at the screen, I'm just normally looking at how much time I've got left, because my SD card is getting filled and I need to, get it down all the time. Now I'm not sure if you can see that. It's hard to see, isn't it? Let me see if I can just bring that in for a minute. Okay, so you can see there, it is like just a light flesh tone colour. Sorry, camera. So I'm happy with that at the moment. I'll see how I go. Let's see how I go. So I'm going to just start. You can use many different implements when you're pouncing. This is what we want to do, pounce the colour onto the kit. You can use sea sponges for texture if you like. Your cosmetic wedges. I don't know what these thingly-bibblies are called, but a lot of people use them and they work very well. Like this. Now I'm just going to pause it for a minute. I'm getting a call. Sorry guys, that was my faithful friend Jasmine. Hi Jasmine. So anyway, yes, like I was saying, this works actually very well, but it can soak up a lot of the odourless thinners and that. So I normally just use it if I am ever using it as a touch up, just to give it like a little bit of body. And then I've got these new Maxine Mops foamies. Now I've had Jasmine actually do a test run on this, and like my idea was, one thing is you could pounce it on like that, and it is possible to pounce it on like that, but it will be a long process compared to, bounce, 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 bounce. It's a little bit slower, as you can see. But one thing it is great for is pulling out excess fluid in certain pockets. So within the ear there, you could just pounce in there, around the eyes. It's perfect for picking up excess fluid. So I could recommend you buy one of these new Maxine Mop foamies. I have them on my website, and I think they're $13.95 if they were going overseas. $2.85 for postage, but very good. It's like got a bone inside, so as you can see, it doesn't really bend. It's got like a cartilage type thing, so it works very well. Okay, so but what I'm going to use, I'm just going to use a cosmetic wedge, and I love to tear the end off them. That is something I have always done, and I do that because, as you can see, a plain cosmetic wedge is very flat there. And when I pull the edge off, it gives like a little speckly sort of feel to it. So a little bit of body, I think it's, highly recommended. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to give my paint another quick mix and just brush it onto the sponge. You can see the colour there. Just a couple of brushes. And then it's literally just pounce onto the kit. So just like this. Now this will just, like I said, with the flesh colour, it's just going to neutralise a little bit. Just take that sharpness out of the colour that I'm using. Now you won't be able to see much. You can see that I've got it on there. And I'm just sort of having a look at it now and seeing if that's the kind of thing I want to do. I'm feeling it's okay. If I'm not particularly happy with how much it has neutralised it, it's simple. I just put another layer on. So nice and easy. Just pouncing all over. And like I said, if you get any excess paint in the creases or anything, if you don't have a foamy, that's all right. Get something like a cotton tip, like an earbud, and just have them on hand so you can pounce out, get any excess paint out. Because one of the most important reasons, if you don't pounce out excess paint, you'll end up like, if you're using like a flesh colour, you'll end up with a white line, a flesh coloured line, where you don't want it to be. So just remember that. So just pounce in the ears. Sometimes if the excess paint goes on there, you can also just pounce out a little bit more too. My sponge is nearly empty, I can feel it, so I can use it for my ears at the moment because it won't have as much fluid in as when I first put it on. Okay. So just nice and easy. If you can't see me or know what I'm doing, that's all I'm doing, just up and down, just like that, just making sure I cover every space in where it is. This is really a cute kit. Okay, and I have covered everything now. Like I said, you won't really see much difference yourself by looking at it, but you can see a slight difference. You might be just looking at that because of the shine is what difference you can see, but there definitely will be a lighter tone to it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pounce my mixture all over the rest of the kit, making sure, like I said, getting in any creases or anything, that I remove any excess fluid. So go ahead and do that now, and then I'm going to check my time, and then if you're happy with it, bake it. Sorry, my phone's just going off again. If you're happy, bake it. You'll need to bake it. I don't normally do it for 8 to 10 minutes. If you're doing heat set paints, 8 to 10 minutes. I think if you're internationally, the heat has to be set on 265, and I believe in Australia it's 120. But personally, I would suggest if you're first going into your oven, you need to do a test. You need to stand near it. My oven particularly works best at 100 degrees in Australia. And I have sat there, and when I get my kit out of the oven after the 8 to 10 minutes, it'll be, for most people, too hot to touch, kind of like a hot potato. You'll be best to get like a cloth or a mitten to get it out. But I'm sort of got really good heat tolerance, so it's normally not too hot for me. But I noticed, like, if I went to 120, it was too hot, and it was slightly, well, not distorting, but it could distort. If I left it there too long, it could distort the kit. So you're best to just sit there and watch, even touch your kit every now and again. If you feel it's way too hot, then you need to turn your oven down. So only you know your oven. And what I'm saying by that is all ovens can be slightly different. You might have a thermostat going in it or something. So you're best to know your oven. You can use a portable temperature that you put into the oven. That's highly recommended as well, because then you know that it's going to be at the heat you want. You're not going to be relying on that product that appliance to work exactly for you. So that works well. Now I'm going to go, and I'm getting another call. Okay, so I finished my first layer, and I thought it could do with a little bit more, so I went ahead and I mixed another batch just like I did the first one, and I have applied the second layer. So as you can see really well there to the color difference that I have here and the bottom of the neck where it hasn't been painted. So you can see it's brought that biracial skin tone down to be more of a pale. Not like my own skin or anything. It's still got that cappuccino sort of base, but it's definitely lighter, which will help me to now bring it back up to what my customer wants. So now I'm going to do my baking. I'm going to bake that for the 8 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to start with some I'm going to start then with the darker layers and start darkening it up a bit and giving it a little bit more definition and life. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so just before I bake it, this is going to be the end of this video because it's nearly 20 minutes. So you'll go into part 2 to start getting your colouring into your baby. I just wanted to do a bit of a shout out to a Cecilia Scholl. I think you say it like that, Scholl or Scholl. She contacted me this morning and showed me some of her absolutely lovely work, and asked some questions about how I thought it looked. Just wanted to say hello, thank you for getting in contact with me, and it was lovely to see your baby. I hope to see more babies in the future. For those of you who wish to send fan mail, I do get letters from time to time and parcels, but generally from now on, if I get anything like that, I'm going to make it a feature on my videos. So if you want to send me something, make sure you say your YouTube name or your name. I will open the parcel or letter, whatever it may be. I will open it while I'm doing a video, and I will feature you. If you have a YouTube channel, I will connect everyone to your YouTube channel. There's a fly flying around, so they can see it too. So thank you for everyone who's ever done that to me. I normally thank personally, replying with a message or something, but from now on I'm going to do it via YouTube so everyone can see, and maybe get in touch with other reborn lovers on YouTube yourself, which will be really, really great. So thank you for everyone for always doing that. I appreciate it. I'll say goodbye for now. Hope you enjoyed the first part of my biracial ethnic painting, and I will see you for part 2 next week, hopefully. See you guys. Bye.